This is my drawing of skin and all the layers that go with it. So we're going to start with the bottom layer here, which is not actually part of the skin, but it is the subcutaneous layer. It's composed of adipose or fat. It is the main source of energy. Down here, it's where we store energy. Then here we have the dermis, and it is composed of two layers, the papillary and the reticular. And I kind of drew this green line here so you could see the different layers, papillary and reticular. And this is where all the things are happening in the skin. Very diverse in here. These are the nerve cells, the nerve endings. This here is the sweat gland. Then we have the blood vessels that run through here. And we have a erector pili muscle. These, I don't know if you can see, the blood vessels here help maintain homeostasis within the dermis. And those blood vessels also are involved in constricting and dilating. Constricting is vasoconstriction and dilating is vasodilation. Constriction is when we would appear pale, maybe we're very cold. And dilating is when we would appear more pink, when we're sweating or hot. And then our epidermis is this kind of pink colored around here. And we have this hair follicle that goes, it's in the epidermis, but it kind of dips down into the dermis here. And we have a sebaceous gland here by this hair follicle, and that secretes oily substances. Helps keep our hair softened, and also can clog pores and produce acne. We have 4 to 5 layers in our epidermis. This first layer is the basal layer. It is composed of cuboidal and shaped cells and columnar shaped cells. The cuboidal all have nuclei. And when here's my son, when the UV rays hit these columnar shaped cells, they produce melanin. And here you can kind of see the melanin caps that protect our basal cells and the nuclei and DNA within them. Fair-skinned people typically are more apt to cancer, if you will, because they don't produce as many melanins. They have the same amount of melanocytes, but they don't produce as much melanin as maybe a darker complected person. So that those UV rays actually damage the DNA housed here in this nucleus. The next layer we have is the spinosum layer, and those also are still having nuclei present. The cells are just beginning to become keratinized and produce keratin, which makes our cells waterproof and harden. The next layer is granulosum, and here is the granulosum with these little dots. And those are the nuclei becoming grainy and kind of disappearing. Those granulosum cells are really starting to flatten out and beginning to die. And then this lucidum is this kind of brown colored. It is only in the palms of our hands and in the soles of our feet. And then the corneum layer up here, the the corneum layer, is the very most top layer of the epidermis, and those cells are completely dead. Those are the cells that we lose, and then new cells keep being made. So those are the skin layers and what they do. Then we have the ABCs of moles. We have asymmetry, which is different from one area to the next. So here you can kind of see, like, this may be like raised up in a little bit different color from the whole mole itself. We have border, which the borders are very irregular. Excuse me. I was going to sneeze. Then we have color, where color, it can be different from one area to the next on a mole. So here it's kind of darker, and then it gets lighter as it goes this way. And then we have diameter, and 6 millimeters or larger is considered suspicious. So all of these asymmetry, irregular border, different colors, and large in diameter are all suspicious activity for different kinds of cancer. And then we have burns. We have first degree, which is pretty well just on the epidermis layer. It's like a sunburn, no blisters present. Second degree burns is a little bit worse. It really gets that epidermis layer, blisters appear. This could happen from a sunburn also. Typically this one heals in just 2 to 3 days. Not real bad. Can be a little painful. This one takes a little longer, like 3 to 4 weeks. Can be pretty painful. And then we have third degree burns, and this is when the skin looks charred. I don't have a black marker or crown, but dark brown anyways. And that also can produce blisters, but gets worse and actually affects the epidermis, the dermis, and some of the muscle and bone underneath. Third degree burns are very bad. A lot of people with third degree burns are prone to pretty bad infections. They most often need to be put in a medical induced coma. And skin grafting is needed to be done, and the survival rate of people with third degree burns over a majority of their body is very minimal. And I think that's it.